What's up, guys? This is John from Clean Slate Clearing coming in with another video today. This is a super simple and easy fix here. I bought this Iron Bowl or Norstar 7x16 14,000 pound GVW dump trailer for the business, for the stump clearing and land clearing and all the other fun stuff that I do. Like back in April, May of this year, 2025. It's now currently August 2025. And the trailer's been great. It's hauled everything I've needed to haul so far, but there are some issues with this trailer that I'm finally getting fixed. Let me explain. All right, so the first thing, I have done something to this trailer so far. I just added like the little 2x8 extended sides, and they've been great so far. But one thing you'll notice, the trailer, if you want the trailer to be somewhat level with the truck, and it's even sitting up a little bit high right now, but if you want the trailer to be somewhat level with the truck, this jack is like a whopping, 4, maybe 5 inches from the actual ground. And you can see, obviously, I drag this thing literally everywhere. Everywhere I go, I drag this thing. The only way to not make it drag is to lift the trailer up super high, and I don't want to tow like that. That's super unsafe. So the first thing I need to have fixed is this jack needs to come off, and this plate needs to be re-welded up a lot higher. This jack could probably, come up another 4 or 5 inches, and it would finally be perfect at that point. Number 2 actually has to do with my wood sides here, my wood side extension. So right here, this is a 16-foot board, which is pretty long. Right here in the middle, I have this wood in the stake pocket as some support, and it does well the way she sets. However, when you're going super fast down the road, this still, it does that, and I don't want it to do that. So Iron Bowl or Norstar, they obviously do sell, brackets, like metal brackets that go in here, so that way you can screw the wood to it. However, they're like $60 a piece, and I'm not spending $120 on that. Instead, my buddy who is a fabricator, MD Fab, I'm going to have him just weld like a piece of flat metal instead of having my 2x4 there. I'll have flat metal up, which will be a heck of a lot sturdier. That way, that no longer, moves. Third on the chopping block, you will see I do have 1, 2, 3, and 4 5/8 D-rings inside the bed of this thing, which is great. I love having the D-rings. However, I need more D-rings. So I'm getting 4 more D-rings added to this trailer. Honestly, I probably need 2 in the rear, maybe 2 feet forward. And then same thing up front. I want to have like 2 more, but like probably 2 more feet backwards. And that'll just help tying everything down properly. And then the very last item has to do with the ramps, actually. So I love this ramp style design, how they pull out, like all that's perfect. But when you put the ramps on to load and unload, if you don't set them on 1, 2, 3, those 3 pieces perfectly, and you're loading up, they want to twist and turn on you. Like if it's not touching this one over here, the ramp is like here to here, it wants to dip in and stuff like that. And I think that's super unsafe. So I want to have him add a couple more of these along, like, maybe in the middle and stuff like that. It's basically just more support, but it'll also help so that way my ramps don't fall off while I'm loading and unloading equipment. So like I said, I have a really good friend doing all this stuff, a friend that I grew up with. His name is Mark. He owns MD Fabrication in like the Greensburg area. So always support your friends, of course. I'll let you guys obviously see the results once she's done.
A few moments later.
All right, guys, so it's actually been like a solid 2, maybe 3 months since the last time I actually filmed the clip that you just saw. Dropped the trailer off, and honestly, I've been so busy I haven't had time to update you guys. However, the trailer has been fixed. The upgrades have been made. Let me explain and show you. All right, so currently we have the LX2610 loaded up in the dump trailer. However, one thing you'll notice is the jack. The jack is now mounted a heck of a lot higher, so it will no longer drag on the ground than what my fabricator did. The original mounting plate was here and here. So essentially he took the jack off and added additional metal down there, basically moved the bottom bolts to the top bolts. These are now available. And then just, now the jack sits another, 4, maybe 5 inches up, which is awesome. Additionally, right here, now I have access to these stake pockets because instead of a 2x4 sitting here, I now have a 1/4 inch piece of steel on both sides, and that's welded in there really nice. And like I said, now I still have access to the stake pockets. Inside the old girl, if you remember, I needed some D-rings. I added 4 more D-rings. So typically I would chain this all the way up to the front. Well, the angle of it, I would always hit the bucket. The bucket would always be in the way. So now I got 2 D-rings a little bit further back, which is nice. And then I also have D-rings a little bit further forward as well. So it just gives me a couple more mounting points, which is super, super nice. If I thought about it, and I wish I did think about it, I should have also had him put 2 D-rings in the direct center of the dump trailer. However, gives me a lot more tie-down options, which is nice. And then, of course, lastly, I had him fill in all of this with some holes still so water and everything could drain. So now I could actually put the ramps literally anywhere. Actually, I'll show you. Let me do this. So these ramps can now literally be put anywhere along this entire rung. So you might say to yourself, hey, you have this big piece of angle iron or metal here. Why don't they just hang? But they don't. If you see, the ramps technically don't even hang up there. The ramps set on these little spots. And there was only 1, 2, 3 spots. And depending on where you put the ramps, if you're loading and unloading equipment, the ramps would shift. But now with all that metal welded in there, the ramps no longer shift, and I'm extremely super safe and super stable. So yeah, super, dump trailer modifications, dump trailer upgrades, if you will. Definitely a necessity. I'm super happy with the results of it. I'm in the Greensburg area. My good friend I grew up with, he owns MD Fabrication. That is here in the Greensburg, Western Pennsylvania area. So if you have anything that you need, I'll drop his information in the description below. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you next video. Peace.